Did you know that most successful people credit their mindset as to being one of the main reasons why they ended up being successful? And so on this channel, we talk about success and finances and building wealth and being happy and healthy and creating the life and being the person that you're meant to be in this world so that you can benefit, but then other people can benefit as well. And so Sara Blakely, the billionaire founder of Spanx, she actually talked about how her mindset was critical for achieving the success that she did and for actually having the courage and the drive and the persistence to keep going and to build the company, the billion-dollar company, and invent the product that she did. And so her dad actually was a big influence in her life. Both her parents were, but her dad ended up getting divorced with her mom. Her parents got divorced, and he actually gave a cassette tape to Sara, and she was about 16 years old, and it was a cassette tape about being a no-limit person, and it was from Dr. Dyer, who was a psychologist, and he changed her mindset. And she would listen to these cassette tapes, and it was hilarious because people in high school, they'd want a ride with her, and they're like, oh no, can we have another person drive us, because we're gonna have to listen to those dang audio tapes. But then once she became successful, they all texted her and was like, dang, we should have driven with you and listened to those audio tapes. And so basically I have a few tips from Dyer, who was her mindset coach, on how to improve your own mindset. So let's go ahead and talk about those things and some tips on how you can start thinking and some things to be careful about so that you can be successful and achieve whatever you want in your life. All right, number one, never put anything into your imagination or your subconscious mind that you don't want materialized. So be super careful what you think about, because what you think about, you bring about. And so people talk about manifesting and bringing all these things to the universe. And it is kind of true. I know in my life, I used to think about the silliest and stupidest things sometimes. And that's what I got. I kept thinking about those things over and over again. I'm like, why do I keep thinking about these things? These are so pointless and annoying, and I don't care about this. But then why do I keep thinking about it and focusing on it? And so one of the big things in life and to be successful is to focus on what you actually want. And so this is helpful to actually achieve your goals. If you want to get something done, you have to focus on it. You have to make time for it. But also, if you want something to materialize in your life, you have to be focused on it. So be careful. Silly little thoughts and things, or they talk about the ants that come in your head, automatic negative thoughts or some weird things, you don't have to give them attention. And so we could talk more about the subconscious mind and the mind. If you want, let me know in the comments below if you're interested, but be super, super careful. So this is a lot about the law of attraction. And so you're attracting what you think about. So start thinking about and start programming your mind to think about the things that you want. That's why we need to decide, what do we actually want in our lives? How do we want to show up? How do we want our day-to-days to be so that we can make them happen? All right, number two is, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And so I've heard this quote before. I love quotes. And so a lot of people know this about me. Some of these things I'm like, yes, that makes sense, or I just resonate with it. But this can be interpreted in many different ways. And so a lot of people think about the outlook you have on life. And so if you have a more positive outlook, it's crazy. The way you think, it could literally be the same situation, but depending on how you're thinking or feeling in that moment, it could totally be different. And so how you see things makes a difference, right? And so put on those glasses of positivity, put on those glasses of seeing the potential there instead of finding the problems, instead of finding the doubts and the negativity and all those things. And so really be careful. And so when you get approached with a problem or something comes up in your life, how are you going to choose to see it? It is a choice, right? And so change the way you look at things, see things as opportunities for growth, see things as things that can make you better, right? Try to find the good things in the world. Try to find the positive people. If you look for negative things, negative people, or destruction or things, you're going to find it, right? And so, but the same thing is true if you look for positivity, if you look for people who help, if you look for the light workers, if you look for good people, you're going to find those people as well. So be careful, change the way you look at things, and also look for the good things, and you'll find more of it. Number three, Dr. Dyer also says to not ignore the calling that is inside of you. Don't ignore the part of you that says, you came here to create something powerful. And so this is so true. It doesn't matter what job you do. It doesn't mean you have to go reach millions and billions of people. It doesn't mean you have to create a Tesla or go to Mars. It could be that, but it doesn't have to be, right? You could be a preschool teacher. You could be so many different things. You could do different things. It also isn't always tied up with your job, right? Your job is something that you do for a lot of your days and your weeks. So that could be part of it. And that is nice if it is tied into that, because you are already spending a lot of time doing that. But maybe it fuels something, or the family you wanted to create, or a mission that you want to serve, or an area of the world that you want to help. And so start looking into that. You don't have to get all obsessed about what is my purpose and what is my main meaning in life, because that might change too. But start going, what feels good? What intuitively do I want to focus on? What are the things that light me up? And so I was going to do a video on this as well. Like if you look at, say, even a YouTube channel, your phone's YouTube channel and suggested searches and like the videos that you watch and the content that you see is going to be so different from if you took your neighbors, right? You guys are gonna have different things. Like maybe there's common shows that you watch or stuff, but there are certain things that are innate to you and that you like. And so pay attention to those things. Those are unique to you, and you're meant to follow those things and create more of that in the world. Number 4, I love this one. You cannot be lonely if you like the person that you're alone with. And so this has been so important to me, and something that I've gotten so much better about over time. I've always been pretty independent and okay just being by myself, but I've worked on being more confident and appreciating who I am and figuring out who am I and who do I want to be. And so that's made a huge difference. Like I love being by myself, and I don't know if anyone else can relate, but I don't feel lonely. I feel happy when I'm by myself. And then yes, I might start missing people that I love and care about, because I have such beautiful people in my life as well. And so you want to spend the time with them, but you're okay being by yourself. And so that can be a really big problem for a lot of people if they're stuck being by themselves and in their heads or alone. It can be very scary and something to work on. And I'm happy to do a video on that if that is something that you need help with and support in. But be comfortable with yourself and you'll never truly be lonely. Number 5, this is an amazing one as well. So how people treat you is their karma, and how you react is yours. And how you treat other people as well. And so this is so important and so true. And it can be so hard to like kill someone with kindness or just to show up, but that is who you want to be. And I know I set that intention. I want to be a good person. I want to spread light. I want to do good in this world. And I want to show up as best that I can. And am I perfect? No, but that is what I try to do. And that is what I do most of the time. And so for some people, they don't do that. And there's some nasty people. There's some people who might be nice people, but then they make poor decisions and put this poor energy towards you and are mean and freak out on you or get angry or yell or do all these not good things. And that is their karma. They're going to have to deal with that, right? And that doesn't mean you need to put up with it. That doesn't mean you just need to take it, right? And so you could ignore it. You can move on. You could just be like, that's nice, and move forward. And we could do a video on this. Like I've had a lot of practice and have learned a ton on this. I just never understood why some people are like that. But I've experienced negative emotions in my life as well, but it is sad to see when people are choosing to act like that way, and not just like every once in a while. They're like that a lot. But anyways, that's something that they have to deal with, and that's their journey and their path. And hopefully they will get on board and be more positive and kind and loving. But at the end of the day, you can only control you. So how are you going to show up? How are you going to act? What are you going to let in your life? And what are you going to create? And so leave all that stuff aside and focus on what you can do to make your life and other people's lives better. Number 6, this is excellent as well. I really am loving a lot of his lessons, and there's a reason why was so successful and impactful. But I cannot always control what is on the outside, but I can always control what is on the inside. And so this is amazing. It's so important. And my brother actually talked about this a lot. He had 2 things that you could do to be successful, and one of the things was that you control how you act. You can only control yourself. And so this is so true. And I know a lot of people want to control everything and control other people, but you can't. And so stop wasting your energy doing that and control yourself. How are you going to show up? How are you going to be better? How are you going to lead? What are you going to do in your life? What habits are you going to work on, right? And you can encourage other people and help them and support them, but at the end of the day, it's their own journey, and you have to focus on your own. Control yourself, and you will be a lot happier, and you will be a lot more successful too. And if everybody did that, if everybody focused on themselves, I always say this, then the world would be a lot better place. But stop focusing on things you can't. Always go within. And lastly, don't die with your music still inside of you. Listen to your intuitive inner voice and find what passion stirs your soul. And so this one was really beautiful to me. And I think we talk about taking risks or not being scared. And a lot of people are scared to put themselves out there or to try the thing, or they doubt themselves, or they're not confident, or all of these issues. And there's a plethora of reasons as to why. But you're going to grow old anyways. Time is going to pass. And you also don't know when you are going to die and when you're going to pass away, right? Hopefully it's when you're 90, 100 years old, but you don't know. Right? And so don't die with that song inside of you. And if you have something that you want to do that you're not doing, you need to start doing it and take action now. Take action as soon as you can, and you're going to be a lot happier. And so you don't want to get to the end of your life and regret not doing something. And typically a lot of people don't regret the things they did. They regret what they didn't do. And so take that as you will, but really think about that. What is within you that maybe you haven't brought out yet? And I know there's some things that I've started taking action on, or even posting to YouTube, and I felt so much more happy and alive, because that is something that's been missing. I have all these thoughts and I'm always learning, and I'm like, I want to help people, and I'm like, I'm not fully doing that. And so then finally I started posting. I'm like, I just feel like I am doing a little bit more of what's inside of my soul and my heart, and it feels so good. All right, so those were some tips from Dr. Wayne Dyer, Sara Blakely's mindset mentor, who helped her become a multi-billionaire. And so let me know in the comments below what you think. Let me know if you like this video, if you have any questions, if you want more information from Dr. Wayne Dyer. He has tons of books and audio recordings and videos and things out there, so feel free to check out those resources. But I hope you got a little bit of a taste of what he has to offer. So thanks so much for being here. Feel free to like this video, subscribe for more, share with a friend, and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when the next one comes out. Thanks so much for being here. You've got this. Get in tune with yourself and bring out what you're meant to in this world. You have so much potential and passion and power within. Put it into the world. You deserve it. Thanks so much for being here. You've got this. See you in the next video. Bye, guys.